back-to-back global finalist. Even the early stage, it's calling it way too early to say that he's going to be changing things up, but you really start to raise your eyebrow a little bit when you see innovation take to a patch so well as 3.8.
So what is he going to go for? Okay, Dark going for gas and pull.
Ooh.
Will he go for like Bane Burst or Ravager push? Like I don't even know what he's trying to achieve with this, because once again, it's a really short distance map, Overgrowth that is, so it could be a decent map for Reapers, but in the end it's not that much because of the base layout. You can't really jump in and out of the main base with Reapers that easily on this one.
I don't actually rate this map very highly as a Reaper map. I mean, in the qualifiers, I saw the Leenock face a Terran. I can't remember which Terran it was, but he tried to Reaper Leenock on it, and Leenock kind of crushed it. So, you know, and he made it look really easy as well. And making the single Reaper is fine because, you know, your Reaper expand. The Reaper is handy in the early game, but, you know, massing them is just not very effective on Overgrowth, in my opinion. Let's see what Dark's going for here. Yeah, the Ravager bust. There you go.
Yeah, He built a queen for a second and then, you know, changed his mind, or maybe he was just on autopilot.
Yeah, maybe autopilot.
I finished my spawning pool. I think it's time to build a queen. Oh, what am I saying? I wanted to kill that guy, so I'm gonna go and throw down that Roach Warren.
This 150 minerals going somewhere else.
Yeah. I'm gonna use it for something else. So that Reaper needs to be able to scout. That's super important in the defense of that incoming push from Dark. So the Reaper is gonna go from the left side, probably gonna scout the third base, because we've seen Dark taking that third base super early in all those games. Actually, they're just, you know, trying to figure out if there is links going to the other side. So that Reaper is not scouting anything at the moment.
Yeah, and it's also conversely on the other side, the onus is on Dark to actually deny the scout as well, because this thing is only really effective when it's a hard gotcha surprise kind of attack. ByuN is getting a tech lab and also a factory back at home, and tanks are fantastic with a new patch against holding attacks like this. So we would like to see, you know, ByuN will have the tools of the trade if he does get that critical scout in time. 2 Lings of Dark coming in here, seeing the natural go down, turning into an orbital, all standard stuff as far as Dark's concerned here.
Yeah, and I think ByuN might just, you know, regret not going for an SCV scout, because he anticipated that it would be a pool first, but he had no idea it could be gas and pool. And those Ravagers, those Roaches are already crossing the map, and he has nothing.
Oh, he's making a starport. He's not making any tanks. He's going to have Marines without stim and SCVs. That's all he's going to have, guys. And he's trying to power for the next stage of his plan. There's Ravager number 1. ByuN's heart is going to be in his socks right now.
Like, oh man, it's happening, and it's happening super fast. How should I defend that? He's going to pull out all those SCVs from the second base. Actually, cancel the reactor that was building on the factory to get a tech lab and get a tank out. But it's going to be so hard to defend, and at least those depots and reactor are in a lot of trouble.
He could go for a Banshee as well, but no, he's actually going to go for a tank straight off the bat. Stim, not even halfway done yet. It is on the way, though, for ByuN. 9 Marines, 10 Marines and a Reaper is the army of ByuN, but the reactor is down, halving the Marine production from that one barracks, and the supply depot's down as well. He's completely supply blocked. No more supply depots on the way, just one being dropped now for ByuN, which means knock. Dark is inside the base of ByuN. Stim is in trouble as well.
Yeah, let's see if he can pull off the miracle defense. Nice targeting on that Ravager, and he gets it, but he's still losing quite a lot. As you mentioned, supply block as we speak. The first tank is going to come out, and he's...
might be all he needs. Oh, the bile actually nearly connecting with the tank there. If he takes his position on the high ground, he's going to be in a lovely spot with a siege to be able to hold the next stage of this attack, but it doesn't look like there is one. Looks like Dark's actually going for a really quick lair, and the third hatchery going down as well. And ByuN's got the next stage of his plan. He's making more tanks. He's getting the Marines out as well. And he does hold for now. Was this push worth it? It looks like he's actually, you know, quite a bit up in workers.
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing. I would say that Dark is a little bit ahead in this game, but I love the way ByuN just defended that attack, because personally I would have just run out those Ravagers and pulling a lot of SCVs and trying to get a surround or something. But it's like, okay, I'm just gonna, you know, ignore the fact that you're destroying everything in my wall, and just, you know, wait up, get some more tanks, and just destroying the Overlord means that this push is over, because no more high current vision.
I was going to say that when you make those early game tanks and you don't need them for defense anymore, you know what you do, Funky? You load them into a medevac with some Marines, you send them across the map to hope to see you can get that third hatchery kill. And ByuN is definitely getting those crosshairs on that third hatchery. So be very careful with these Biles and the Ravagers because the tanks cannot be microed anymore. One goes down, but the Marines are here to make things a little bit more awkward for Dark. The Ravagers really need to get in Bile range of that tank. ByuN not letting it happen though.
Yeah, the third base is in a lot of trouble. He steams in and tries to get some Ravagers, some Roaches, and he's actually going to get it.
Back.
Nice defense and nice micro by ByuN. By a Dark, sorry, he's gonna drop one Marine. You're dead, buddy. You're less valuable than a tank. I'm sorry.
Right.
Just get out.
Just
get out.
Pay the ultimate price for that tank there. That's an expensive unit. Fair enough, ByuN. Savage, but fair.
Imagine if you would be that Marine. So sad. Why me? Why me?
Just kick him out the door.
It's just you know.
So
leave some space open. For
he
that
didn't
tank.
get the third hatchery kill. He softened it up very much there and did trade very nicely against the Roaches for the most part. So I actually find it very worth it of ByuN to do that attack and force a bit more out of Dark that isn't drones here. Dark starting to get up to the next stage. Double Evo going down. ByuN's double NG Bay I think went down as well. So he's going to be getting 1-1 pretty shortly.
Yeah, that game pretty even at the moment, I would say. It's just getting a little bit more drones, so 57 at the moment, working on 3 bases, 4 Roaches. Just wait, drop those Marines, no problem. I'll take care of them. As you mentioned, double eBay is done on the Terran side of things, so 1-1 to the 1-1 range of Dark. So this game super even at the moment, and when we've seen Dark play that Roach Ravager style, he added Infestors. So I'm just waiting on that possible take change or take how would you say, take improvements, I guess, with the Infestors coming in. We'll see if he tries to do that or just maybe burst with a lot of Roaches and Ravagers with the 1-1 timing. That could work too, I guess.
Yeah, hitting timing is very, very powerful in this game, and definitely could happen. You generally do hit with 1-1, or at least try to hit the third CC with 1-1 with the Roach Ravager. We'll see if Dark goes for that, though. ByuN unloading, but Dark already in position with more than enough units to be able to deflect this. That Viking's like, whoa, time to get back in the skies, boys. Not to be on the ground with that army.
He actually dodged every single shot from Ravagers and Roaches because he just...
How low that third is.
Yeah.
Man, I would just want that hatchery dead so badly and commit way too much to making sure it dies. I'm one of those kills. I play like that, man.
How many games
how
terrible
terrible
did you throw just because of a hatchery that was low?
I don't even want to know the statistics. I don't ever want to look at how many games I've lost because of my my asphyxiation on killing low health command centers or command structures, I guess.
Okay, ByuN just getting a little bit more map control, getting that north Zelnaga tower, and scanning, just removing the creep once again. 1-1 is about to finish for the Zerg player, adding in
and he is moving
3
across.
Ravagers.
So this is the timing we kind of expected here. Roach Ravager moving across, taking the tower away from ByuN. ByuN does know the army's moving across the map, though. These tanks are stuck, actually, I think. No,
no.
They're just being rallied there.
No.
Wow. Yeah, that'd be super weird and bad. But ByuN's actually just pulling a bunch of tanks on the high ground. They definitely would be useful down at this third if Dark does choose to go down there.
All right, so I was wondering if it would be a timing or anything. It's gonna be a timing. He's maxing out right now. Dark, that is 192 supply because he lacks 1 overload, and he's gonna go for mass Ravagers, mass Roaches, not investing in the 2-2 upgrade. He's just gonna say, no, you will not get a third base, and if you try to defend a little bit too much, maybe I can kill you.
ByuN looks like he has enough, but it's not in the right spot just yet. He has to pull it back towards that third hatchery. I love these breaking off the small group Marines with the medevac here, and ByuN's just like, nah, lifting, getting out of here because there is just way too much Zerg on the ground here. SCV's repairing that CC, desperately trying to keep it alive. The Bile shot's going down. ByuN microing back, but losing siege tanks. These siege tanks in range of the Roaches and the Ravagers. Corrupted Biles connecting very well for Dark. The Marines... Oh, it's just too much here from Dark. He's completely crushing through his army of ByuN. ByuN's lost 20 SCVs as well. The corrosive Biles are taking out all of the siege tanks of ByuN bar 1, which is just coming out of the factory now, and these Marines did not get enough done. 5 drone kills on the other side of the map. Dark just seems to have way too much. Even if he loses his army, he is going to be in an incredible spot.
Yeah, incredible spot. He's not even mining for that third base ByuN. But right now, in a lot of trouble. Just 5 Roaches and Ravagers remaining under the attack. But as you mentioned, he had a lot of tanks. He had a lot of firepower to just, bring back that army from Dark. But those Biles were commanding. They dropped on the tanks instantly. Everything just blew up. And I guess he should have just forfeited that third base a little bit. Like, I mean, just lift it off and wait for more tanks, maybe wait for a better position, because as you mentioned, he was just slightly out of position, so he didn't have, you know, the perfect concave of tanks. The number of Marines was a little bit lackluster, and as you mentioned, no damage in the background towards Dark. So still going on 4 bases, getting all those upgrades, getting finally the Infestors.
The Infestors on the way with Burrow as well. That cheeky new ability of the Infestor to be able to cast spells while burrowed. Such a powerful ability, and it's going to come into play here, making things a little bit tougher for ByuN as he heads towards the late game. So we are hitting that 11-minute mark, and I mean, the Observer did bring up a little while ago that the resources lost are actually, you know, Dark's lost a lot more than ByuN, but at the end of things, because of Dark's econ advantage, he has still the bigger army, the more workers, the more mining, the more income, and he's gearing up for Hydralisks as well, possibly even Lurker, something crazy like that. I'd expect Hydras. Hydras are still, like, yes, they lost 1 range, they're back down to 6 now, maximum, but that's still a pretty good unit.
Yeah, just a solid game plan by Dark in this game, just pushing in with the Ravager push in the beginning of the game, just slowing down ByuN, not taking that much damage in the counter-attack that we've seen with the tank drop and the Marines, and right now just in a commoning lead. He's getting every single upgrade in the game, like he's getting and what an amazing
goals and bye-bye medevacs. Oh, actually nearly got away there, but the Bile did connect in the end, and man, that is the power of the Bile and Infestor combination there. Small group of Roaches waiting for a 4th CC of ByuN, but unfortunately for ByuN, we know that 4th CC is nowhere to be seen at the moment.
No. And there's nothing like really going ByuN's way at the moment when Dark is actually pushing himself towards like the real late game with the Hive Tech, with the Roach Burrow upgrade. Like, he's got everything. Those Roaches probably will get demolished because that turret placement was amazing, but at least it used like a stim on every single Marines, and at the same time getting hit on the third base. 7 SCVs more go down right there. This is just a terrible game for ByuN.
Yeah, Dark is just so good at this game, man. ByuN up against the ropes. He's behind in every single way, literally every single way. Upgrades, army supply, econ, all down. Big fungals from Dark, connecting amazingly with the bio there.
They're in the walls. They're in the walls, Maynard. They eat from downstairs, man. No, I didn't get it. I couldn't get it. It's okay. That's okay. But that drop's actually dealing a little bit of damage. You know, some drones, but they're gonna get burrowed once again. Those queens will probably defend that push easily. Roaches in the main, Roaches in the third, and even those Marines have a lot of trouble to just get them out.
These scans mean no mules, and he's already down 30-odd workers. Like, it's actually a terrible position econ-wise for ByuN. Look at his minerals right now. He's on 75. Like, it's just... He just doesn't have the income or to be able to keep up with the production that he has. And Dark, however, can make anything he wants. The other side of the map, completely safe. The Kree spread is nearly at the ramp of ByuN's natural here. In fact, it's already nearly at the gold.
Oh, I'm afraid, man. When I see those Infestors going for the flank while being burrowed, able to throw that fungals away. He's got perfect vision thanks to the creep. Amazing fungal once again. The bile lands on the Marines, and it's just like, he's taking a beating, man.
He is absolutely taking a beating. ByuN in so much trouble here. He has a lovely position to be able to cover the drone line of that hatchery, but there's drones to spare for Dark here. Even if he loses all of them, it's not a big deal. Vipers coming into play here. That extremely scary late game. So, pulling those tanks all the way into the range of the Roaches and the Infestors and the Hydras. Everything from the Zerg army. He's even killing supply depots in the main. GG! Dark with a ZvT masterclass on Overgrowth there.